Well, it's a Mele Mel album. It's a great album. Everybody that did the reviews on it. It's a hell of an album. 16 songs, all Mele Mel songs. We're just trying to reestablish Mele Mel and to get that music out there and to help not help but make hip hop grow up. So I got some traditional kind of Mele Mel stuff. Got some stuff that is good for right now, and some stuff that nobody would write even for 10 years from now. So I just try to just kind of do a lot of stuff like a lot of people like look at like what I'm doing, and then they be like, well, you should have put more message stuff on it, But I'm not trying to be a preacher. I mean, you got Al Sharpton out there, let him do that. Well, I mean, you know what? I like groupies. I respect groupies. You know what I mean? It takes a whole lot to be a groupie. I mean, like, not a groupie as in the sense of, you'll run around with any band that come through town. I'm talking about your groupies, like, my Mele Mel groupies. You know what I mean? Because those are like your greatest asset. You know what I mean? You can get a groupie to do anything. I mean, anything from the bed, that same broad, she'll run your whole company. You know what I mean? And from anything from going outside to get a soda at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, they do it all. And I respect the hell out of a broad that give good head. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it means a lot to me. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it means a lot to me. So. No. Cowboy was big. He was big with that. He was knocking them down crazy. Back in the day, I was young. I was talking my way out of pussy, trying to philosophize and shit. You know what I mean? Melly, Martin Luther King, and all that. Like, you know what I mean? I respect you too much to do that. Oh, okay, see, I fucked up again. Yeah, Cowboy was a man and shit, but I learned to keep my mouth shut after a while.
Take it.
And rob, rape, and pillage like all the other stars and shit.
Yes.
Well, no, but then there's a definite reason why, because radio more or less is into playing new music. Like if cats had put out more new music, or if it was just like a access for cats to put out more new music, we'd probably get a little bit more play. Maybe not, but it all depends on if they would play it. But I would think that if we had stayed more current and tried to, just keep trying to put out songs instead of just, it was like a point where, like all of the cats from my era and even the eras after that, it was no opportunities, but then they didn't, keep trying to get out there and grind and make opportunity. So, they just started, playing music, and they'll do like the old school at noon. But I think had they have done that, I mean, it would have gave the game, would have been more legs to it. You know what I mean? Because it's like in any family, you have mothers, you have fathers, sisters, brothers. But in the family of hip hop, you just have like the sisters and the brothers, and the little cousins, and actually, and they all still sound like the little brothers. So everybody just coming from one vein. So you don't have another outlook on what's going on. So it's like everybody's just focused on this same, it's like the same subject matter, and then the radio just goes with it. They don't say, well, maybe you need to clean it up, maybe you need to rap about something else, whereas when we made records, you couldn't curse, you had to make a clean version, they'll just bleep the curse out. So it's like, they could play a lot more of the old school stuff or the traditional stuff, but it's not a whole lot of stuff to play just to keep being repetitive, so, but they still could play it more, because they're all classic songs. You can't beat a classic song. Every time you hear it, you win it. You're gonna win. So it's all good. Not necessarily hang out. Me and Scorp do a lot of work together, but I don't. I mean, I hang out to a certain extent, but everything is more or less like business to me. I go to a party, it's like me just going just to see what's going on and study what's going on. You know what I mean? Or, try to bag abroad or something like that. I'm not really out like, I'm going to hang out and drink because I don't, I stopped drinking and, all that day. I don't really smoke weed like, I might take a puff every year and a half or something. But, everybody's cool. I mean, I don't want to knock none of them dudes out or nothing. But say we talk every day. We actually don't, but we good. Well, it didn't matter to me exactly whether he did it or not because I understand where everybody was coming from. But there was the two things that I just didn't understand was, first of all, they should have gave us a choice, even though the rest of the group would have picked Jay-Z anyway. Okay. And second of all, Jay-Z just don't know nobody from the group. Right. You know what I mean? So and even when he did his speech, he read it from a BlackBerry. So it ain't like he had a first-hand experience, like, I remember when I was young and in this song and blah, 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 to really make a certain kind of connection to who we were and what we were about from his perspective on a first-hand basis. He basically just read, like a bio or something from a BlackBerry. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's cool, it's whatever, because it really don't matter to me either way. I mean, and everybody else from the group, was all for it. But I would have felt better with him making a definite connection, like to understand what it meant to be, who we were, for him to relay that he had an understanding of what it was like. You know what I mean? Like I said, he just read from a BlackBerry, you know what I mean? Which made it, I mean, it was plastic. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. I mean, and I respect Jay-Z 110%. A lot of the things that he did, not really in hip-hop, I don't think he did that much on that level, but as far as what he did in business, he's a hell of a businessman, so he took it to another level, which I never thought nobody would take it. But I mean, you inducting a group in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then you reading something off of BlackBerry, I don't know. I mean, that's a little, I don't know. I would guess out of anybody, I guess it would be Pop, because it's like after he died or whatever, it's like people just really didn't have, just the way the whole thing went down and for everything from leading up to that, and then from that point after, people didn't have the understanding of what he was like, or even what hip hop in the scene was like, to really get a good measure of how to really tribute him. Like as far as from a fan, to somebody that they listening to his music or whatever, it's like he was more known for, making more thugs than, just a person having a street side to them and then having an intelligent side to them. Like if they would have really understood who Tupac was, then they would have understood that, he got a street side, they got a street side. But he had an intelligent side that if they would have just understood that and concentrated on that, it would have been a lot more of, just people being more intelligent than just them just going with the thug thing, which is something, to me, it was more of an image. I mean, I didn't know him like that. I met him a few times, but everybody that I met that knew him, they said he was a really good dude, you know what I mean? And he had that side of him, but he was a good dude, like, you know what I mean? And every time I met him, he seemed like he was a good dude. I didn't see, he wasn't, real wild, or, he didn't come across like that. But that's what I think most of the people that listen to his music got from his music. And I think had he lived, they would have seen another side of him because he would have had time to mature. But it didn't happen. So people just got out of it like, I want to live like Pac, and then some people even stupid enough to say I want to die like Pac, like I want to go out like Pac. You know what I mean? So there you are. You know what I mean? You live, you learn.